I always have instrument students fly their first approaches in visual conditions, because as the Hall of Fame New York Yankee catcher Yogi Berra famously quipped, you can observe a lot by just watching. Looking outside as you fly an instrument approach helps you appreciate the importance of staying on the final approach course centerline and not dipping below the charted altitudes. You can also correlate the view out the front window with the left-right course deviation indicator and the up-down vertical glide path or glide slope markers. And if the autopilot is flying, you can watch it make small heading and pitch changes as the airplane descends, while you adjust power and configuration to match the target profile you briefed for a precision or non-precision approach. Ride along as I fly a fully coupled ILS runway 24 approach at Bowerman Field at Hoquiam on the Washington coast. And note especially how low a standard Category 1 ILS can take you, 200 feet above the runway, with just 1/2 mile visibility.
Okay, we're getting set up to do the ILS runway 24 at Hoquiam. We're about 11 miles, 10.5 miles from ULIS, one of the initial fixes where we'll be
at 838, climb maintain flight level 180.
Turn
180
to join the final approach course.
The profile view shows us descending from 2,300 to 2,100 to cross the final approach fix, intercept the glide slope, and then descend to the decision altitude of 216 feet. Here's the view as you turn to intercept the final approach course, about 14 miles from the runway. Now you're tracking inbound toward LAM, still using GPS guidance until the final approach fix becomes the active waypoint. When the final approach fix becomes the active waypoint, the system automatically switches the CDI to green needles to track the localizer and glide slope. Now watch the autopilot make subtle adjustments to track both lateral and vertical guidance toward the runway. Notice the terrain and obstacles to the right as you descend toward the runway. You don't want to wander off the localizer course, but especially to the right. As you approach the runway, both lateral and vertical tolerances get tighter, and you or the autopilot must make smooth, precise corrections. Here's the view as you approach the decision altitude, about a half a mile from the runway. And at the DA, if you don't see the runway environment, you begin the climb to the missed approach altitude.